Student, today we'll be discussing rotation and revolution of the earth. Students, rotation and revolutions are the two movements of the earth. Our earth surface or our earth, actually involved in two types of movement. First of all, we'll see the rotation of the earth and revolution. First of all, let me clear that what is rotation. Rotation means nothing but it's complete rotation on its spin on its axis. Now what is axis? If you draw a line from the center of the earth, this line is nothing but it's called a axis of the earth. Okay, but it is this is not a true axis of the earth. In reality, our earth axis is inclined, okay, little bit on its axis, so that is called as a inclination of its axis. Then we'll see the what is the how much it is inclined on its axis. So first of all, we will see the orbital from the orbital plane. It is called as orbital plane. Okay, from the orbital plane it's inclined 23.5 degree, but from the plane of the earth's orbit, you can see this is a plane of the orbit, and from the plane of the orbit up to its axis, its inclination, its axis. So from the plane of the earth's orbit up to its axis, its inclination is 66.5 degree. From the orbital plane it is 22.5 degree, and from the the plane of the earth's orbit it is 66.5 degree. That's why our earth's experience two different seasons. Okay, different seasons. Our earth have different seasons, which we will see later. Okay, this time we will focus only on rotation. So rotation means the spin of the earth's surface in 23 hours 56 minutes and 4.09 second on its axis is called as its rotation. Always earth rotates from west to east. Okay, from west to east, because it's keep rotating. That's why the one part of our earth surface experience the sun, but the other half of the earth will be in complete darkness. That's why the half part actually which are receiving sunlight is called will experience day, and the half part which is in the complete darkness is called will be experience night. Okay, and this the line which separate day from night is called as the circle of illumination. Okay, it is called as the circle of illumination. Okay, so this is all about the rotation of the earth. Okay, now next thing, a person who is standing near the equator will rotate with a speed of 1600 km per hour. Okay, so it is this is a rotating speed. Now we are moving towards, students, the another important motion of the earth. Because of that motion, our earth experiences different type of seasons. So what are that seasons we'll going to explain. But before that, we are going to see very important one point, perihelion and aphelion. What is perihelion and aphelion? During the revolution of the earth, sometime our earth comes closer to the sun, and sometime it is farthest from the sun. So it is on July 4th when during its revolution, earth is farthest away from the sun is called as aphelion. But when during revolution it's come closer to the sun, it is called as perihelion. So January 3rd is a time when we experience perihelion, when the earth's surface revolving from the near to the sun. So these are the concept which we have seen. Now we are moving towards the another important part, which is revolution. Due to revolution, we are experiencing different season on our earth surface. Otherwise it would be not possible. Imagine that if earth is not inclined on their axis, which I have explained just now, then what would be the situation? Definitely the whole earth would experience the similar amount of sun. In that situation there would be no season there. Okay, now what is the real situation we are going to see? First of all, I will see the what is the rotation period. Okay, sorry, revolution period. So our earth revolve around the sun in a 365 days and 6 hours, but we, for our convenience only, we consider 365 days, and we omit, or we can say that we avoid 6 hours. So we add 6 hours, every day, up to the 4 years, and the fourth, we add it in the 4th year. Okay, so it becomes 1 day, and we add it in the leap year. That is February. So February has normally 28 days, but when we add these, 6 hours each every year up to the 4 years, then it's become 29 days. So in the leap year, February has 29 days. Okay, so it is a leap year about which I have explained. 2000 was a leap year. Now when the next leap year is going to come, it should be decided by you. Okay, now we'll moving towards the very important topic. Students, our earth during its revolution, it's experiences different seasons. So first of all, we'll see very important, in the June time, it's a time of 21st June, our surface experience summer solstice. Due to its inclination on its axis, in June 21, our earth is inclined, the northern hemisphere especially inclines towards the sun. That's why the Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree, will experience straight sun rays, and the entire earth, northern hemisphere, will receive much sunlight as compared to the southern hemisphere, which will experience inclined sun rays. Means, inclined sun rays. That's why there would be comparatively less, sun rays would be received. But in the northern hemisphere, because the sun rays falls vertical here, there would be the length of the day would be large as compared to the night. Okay, but in contrast, in the southern hemisphere, the length of the night would be large as compared to the day. Now we are moving towards the December winter solstice. December 21 is a winter solstice for the northern hemisphere. Okay, in this time period, the sun will light vertically over the Tropic of Capricorn. In that situation, the Tropic of Capricorn, or you can say that the southern hemisphere will experience more light. The day, length of the day would be large, and beyond the 66.5 degree Antarctic Circle, the area will experience 24 hours day. Okay, that's why that the area which lies on the beyond the 66.5 degree will experience midnight sun. Okay, so the length of the day will be large in the southern hemisphere, and northern hemisphere where the length of the day will be small and the nights will be large. So in that situation, on winter solstice, our India would have been in the complete cold season. Okay, now after winter solstice and summer solstice, we have another equinoxes. Equinoxes means when the sun rays falls vertical over the equator. It means that the rest northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere will experiences equal 12 hours and 12 hours day and 12 hour night. So it is called as equinox. In that equinox situation, that circle of illumination will falls in both northern and southern hemisphere. So it is called as a March 21 is a spring equinox. But another equinox we have when the same situation will happen when the vertical sun rays will fall over the equator, and that's why the circle of illumination will fall on both northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and the 12 hours day and night will be experienced by the whole earth's surface or whole hemisphere. Okay, now we are moving towards the another situation, what is Coriolis force? Coriolis force means our earth has a rotation, okay, that's why due to its rotation the wind and air which is attached to the air due to the gravitational force will move in different direction. Due to its rotation force, we have already seen that due to its rotation our earth is bulges near the equator and is flattened at the near the pole. But in beside all these things, the air in atmosphere, the airs and the liquid on the surface will deflect in different direction due to Coriolis force. In the northern hemisphere, the water and wind will be deflect in the right direction, and in the southern hemisphere the wind and air will deflect in the on towards the left. So it is called as a Coriolis force. So students, up to here I have explained a very important topic, the motion that is of the earth, rotation and revolution. Next, in the next video lecture, I am going to explain the structure of the earth's surface. Okay, till then keep revising all these topics. Okay, have a nice day.